Hello and welcome to another review room tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about the report section. So if you didn't know how to get to your report section, it's pretty easy. It's just on the left hand side. You under manage, just scroll down to the report section and just click on that. So in this particular section, if I click on create a new report and then I click on new CSV report, which is usually the recommended type that we basically encourage you to use. And the reason for that is CSV reports can be opened using almost any type of software, including Microsoft Excel, right? So our recommendation is you almost always use CSV reports. Now I'm going to click on that, and as soon as I do, basically you'll get to this particular section where you'll get to enter name for your report. So I'll just call this sample report and then give it a description, report on all the basics, right? And at this point in time, you have to basically choose what kind of report you would like to get. Is it going to be on the applications in the system, the reviewers, or the users? So usually we're going to choose the submissions category. So I'm going to press save. And as soon as I do that, basically it's going to take me inside my reports. Now in this particular section, I'll get to define what kind of information I would like to see using my reports. Now the most important thing is to note that you can choose which columns you would like to see. So starting out, basically these are the columns that are there, and you can add in anything new. So in order to add a column, just click on the add column button over here, and then if you scroll to the right hand side, you'll be able to see all the different information that you can add into your report. Now if you're asking, well, what are all of these things? Essentially what these are answers to questions that your applicants have provided on the system. So the first, and these are divided up by tasks. So you can see global applicants had a task, and it was called tell us about yourself, and in that there are all these different questions, right? So you can see that there. There's also a portion that talks about tasks themselves, whether or not someone has completed a task. So these are all the different tasks that the users on the system have, and you'll be able to choose. So if I chose global applicants get a letter of reference, that column would essentially tell me whether or not the global applicants had completed their reference letter or not, right? So if I scroll back down, you can basically continue to look at the different tasks that are available in the different rounds for each of your applicant groups. And there's even a section for payment, so if you wanted to figure out if people had made a payment, and even information about ranking for that particular application. So if the applicants have actually undergone ranking, you'll be able to see that information as well. So we know that in the whole series of videos that we've put together, we were primarily working with global applicants. So I'm going to scroll up. We submitted some test submissions for global applicants, and I know that we must have answered this question. So I'm just going to throw that question in, and everything else I'm going to leave in place. There should be a note about indefinite information. So what is that? And I'm actually going to add this in. Essentially what this is it's going to show you whether or not well, it's going to show you a series of columns when you choose it from here. So essentially what that means is, let's say that you chose task completion. Then instead of adding columns one by one, if you wanted to see whether or not a user had completed all the tasks on the system, you could just throw in this task completion indefinite information field over here. Now, with this, and we'll see what the report looks like, but essentially once you have this, what's going to happen is that all of your reports, all the applicants, you're going to see columns for whether or not they've completed all the tasks on the system. So we'll take a look at that. And of course, the other section is filters. If you want to throw in any filters to sort of cross-segment the data, so if you want to look at all the people from a specific country, or all the people who answered another question in a specific way, then you can use a filter section. So I'm not going to use a filter section right now because I want to create a sample report so you can take a look at it based on the fields that I have chosen above. And of course, there's also an option for distribution. If you wanted to give your particular report a URL so that your colleagues can take a look at it, you could use this section right here. So I'm going to press Save My Changes, and that pretty much does it for this particular tutorial. Make sure to join us in the next one, where we're going to show you how to download the report and how to make modifications to it. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.